Okay, we're covering Carl von Clausewitz on war. We're in chapter 7, the offensive battle. And what we'll do, we will read Clausewitz and then give commentary and analysis. Carl von Clausewitz speaking. What we have said about the defensive battle throws a strong light upon the offensive also. We there had in view that class of battle in which the defensive appears most decidedly pronounced, in order that we might convey a more vivid impression of its nature. But only the few number are of that kind. Most battles are demi-rencontres, in which the defensive characteristic disappears to a great extent. It is otherwise with the offensive battle. It preserves its character under all circumstances and can keep up the character more boldly as the defender is out of his proper sphere. Now, we'll do term association and try to analyze and more appropriately discern what General Clausewitz is trying to tell us. Now, we there had in view that class of battle in which the defensive appears most decidedly pronounced. So, trying to perceive, understanding the perception of that class of battle, because battle has a class. There are variances concerning battles and variances concerning war. Constants, continuities. Now, in order that we might convey a more vivid impression of its nature, so we want to ascertain, understand the cycle of the seasons, the yin and the yang, the ebb and flow that determines the combat, the distinction of the combat, and the viability of the combat and the sustainability of the same. Okay, now, but only the few number are of that kind. So, we know that only a few battles are of the kind that we can properly label or put distinctive terms on, because the engagement is so volatile, the fighting so fierce, the exertion so great, that often soldiers are focused on holding their line, breaking down the enemy, and it is hard for them to assimilate all that occurs intellectually in real time. Very important. So it's very important that redundancy and oversight comes into play concerning your core leaders, your officers, and your NCOs. So now it says most battles are demi-rencontres, in which the defensive character disappears to a great extent. Why? Because there's an engagement. You make contact with the enemy. In a defensive posture, you have it where you want to hold your position, but you must be on the attack psychologically and physically. Now we will go further. It is otherwise with the offensive battle. It preserves its character under all circumstances and keep up that character the more boldly as the defender is out of his proper sphere. So, this is out of the box thinking, but in the box fighting, where Clausewitz says you will take the enemy out of his comfort zone, out of his sphere of competence, because you will stay on the offensive psychologically and physically. And that will allow you, even though you're holding your line, holding your position, you're under the proper representation of redundancy and oversight will occur in real time by your officers and your NCOs, and you will be able to make corrective action to any negative trends and anomalies, or you can just keep up your initial mission offensive strategy that will keep you on the offensive, keep the enemy on the defensive, take him out of his comfort zone and out of his sphere of competence concerning strategy and tactics concerning military warfare.